This is the trading review for the 20th of April 2022. It was complicated. Um, I did stick to my plan, but the mind is very tricky. It always finds a way to force you to take bad trades. So, but anyways, just going off a little bit. I'm very tired. I've been up for 7 hours because I had to trade for two sessions today. So the first trade I took was on AMD. We were opening high. It was an inside day, and we were bullish on the pivot points, and we were also opening at R4, but we had an inside day. So I wanted to either watch for the breakout at R4 to take it long, or take it at reversal, extreme reversal at the beginning of the day. But we opened just below R4 and then we just sold off immediately. Pulled back a little bit to VWAP and then sold off. Like, it didn't even hesitate to drop below R3, so that trade was ruined. I wasn't able to make an entry here. So after that, I also missed the same thing on Apple, same behavior. So I decided so I looked at AMD and saw that we were stopping and forming dojis and hammers at the S3, and the 15-minute has the settings of the Camarilla Pivot Points without the pre-market data. So I thought that I forced it. I thought like, oh, we're gonna respect these levels and we're gonna go up, and the market was recovering, but I forced it. Those settings are for very specific cases, and I just recently found out that they work the best when you don't have a lot of pre-market data. But we had pre-market data on AMD, and we were trading around R4 here, so I should have stayed away from it, and this is why I got chopped off mostly. So technically, I did take the trade at the 5 minute break and the 1 minute break on my first trade, but we got chopped because we were in the gray area in the regular Camarilla pivot points. So technically, it's a good setup, but I messed up the settings. So so it was the 1 minute break. We didn't have stacks, so that's also another reason why I should have stayed away, but I didn't. So that's uh, that's not a good thing that I did. So we're gonna go over here, and technically it's a B setup trade, but because I messed up with the settings, it's a it's not a good trade. It's a failed trade. I went long inside. We had bullish bias on AMD. We open inside actually, just below, and minus 1.1. We had some slippage. Entry after compression. Yes, yes. No, no, and then yes. I changed settings to force a trade. There was no reason for me to trade at this time. I wanted to trade at that time because it was kind of late, but I have to wait today. Well, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just doing the trade review. So it was the same for this. Everything was the same. Did I have also point 0.1 slippage? Yes, also. So same issue here. So my second trade is um, after I got stopped out, we pulled back up again, and this price action just makes you fear that you are missing out on the trade. So I saw that we pulled back, and I decided to make an entry at the break of the 1 minute candle once again and the break of the 5 minute, which is technically correct. It's a good setup, but the volume and the level 2 was an indication that something was wrong, and I shouldn't have changed the settings of the Camarilla Pivot Points. So it's not the fault of the system, but it's my fault for being so anxious and for looking for a trade at this time of the day, and doing everything in my power to not change the playbook, but to force the trade. It's a subconscious effort to do what I want to do. It's a subconscious effort to manifest that desire to trade at that time of the day and still respect the playbook. So it's pretty messed up, but that's human beings. And then, so those are my two trades on AMD. I took two very good trades on Apple. Um, I noticed that we were dropping. We failed to push higher to R4, and we broke down below VWAP with volume, and then we were consolidating for a bit here, because we had a very extended candle here. If I waited for the 5 minute to close, I would have had a bad RBR. So after we rejected here the 9 moving average, I decided to make an entry here just below R3, and I gave it 20 cents. So it's an entry short on an inside day. Apple was an inside day. It was bullish, and we also opened inside. And we got 2R out of this trade. Did we at a level? No. The only mistake I made on that trade was getting out. Well, it was more of a learning experience, because I got out at the once we regained the 9 and 20, but sometimes that can be very finicky. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that the trade is over. So I missed out on these partials, but it's okay. We pulled back, and then I took a little break of 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then started to look for trades again. And then I noticed that we failed once again to break out to R4 and above VWAP, and we were coming down slowly, and we closed below the previous day close, below the 20 moving average on the 5 minute, and we had some stacks down at the bid. So I made my second entry. Hold on, where is it? So I got allowed on that previous trade above the 20 moving average, and we got 2 out of that trade. But on this entry, um, very similar, except that now we had a very good entry in the 5 minute. So this ended up being a. So it's an A trade, and this one we also went short inside A, bullish inside. We got what? We got 3.8. Yeah, seems about right. Um, so this trade, I had a better RBR, and it almost triggered my stop loss. Placed my stop loss here, 167.56. It almost triggered, but then we had a lot of selling pressure, and we broke the previous day close partial at 2R, 25%, 50% at 3R, and then 25% at 4R, and then at 5R, 25%, 50% of the remaining 25%, and then the other one here. I wanted to reach 166.40, but we were asking too much from this trade. You can see the daily here that we were having strong support at the S3 level on the daily. So so that's the best that I could do for this last partial. So you can see that we reversed immediately. So I'm very happy with that trade. We got a lot out of it. So that's very good. We did not add at a level. I could have added, but I was a target. Yeah, but I didn't want to add more. I could have added here, but we were still closing above the 9 and 20. So if we had a smaller candle here, maybe I could have added, but not today. Entry after compression, yes, 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 yes. B with no break rules. So that's a very good trade. And this one is an A setup as well. Technically, we met all the criteria. No, it is an A plus setup. Oh, A plus. So you can already tell today that that I'm trying to force these quality setups when the market is not. I'm still trying to force my will onto the market. So that's not a good thing to do. But anyways, that's it for my trading review. Two very tough days psychologically, messed up, but I managed to recover today, and I was very resilient. So I'm very proud of that, and I will talk more about it on the daily review.